want you to listen to the audio of the moment that the pursuit actually began.
3 David 5-1 in pursuit.
Clear, 3 David 5-1.
It's the suspects from Alabama.
He's out. Crashed out. Clear on, he crashed out.
Wigs and weapons and thousands in cash, some of the evidence found after that crash out when Casey White surrendered to the police, and Vicky White surrendered her life. Joining us now is Sheriff Dave Wedding of Vanderburgh County, Indiana. He and his officers were at the center of this capture in Evansville. Sheriff, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us tonight. I wished I could be a fly on the wall as Casey was brought in and went under some of the first questioning, because it was my understanding he was going to have a couple of different agencies wanting to ask a few questions of him last night. I've heard he was candid. What did he tell you?
Well, he didn't tell me anything. I was handling the media, like talking to people like you throughout the night. He was being interviewed by the Vanderburgh County Sheriff's Office Detective Section, and then he also talked to the members of the FBI. There was a lot of stories exchanged. Anytime you deal with a criminal, you have to sort out the fact and the fiction. So we know probably some of the things he told us were lies. Some of the things he told us may have been the truth. We have to kind of sift through the story to determine what he did tell was factual and what he did tell us was a lie.
Sheriffs, I watched some of your deputies as they escorted him from the extraction from the vehicle. He was down on his belly, as is, standard protocol to get shackled and cuffed, and then they led him over to the cruiser. It was like a perfect view. He's missing a tooth. Did that happen in the rollover? Do we know if he got... What kind of medical attention did he get? What kind of injuries did he sustain in all of this?
He suffered very minor injuries. He was treated in relation to the local hospital, and he appears to be doing fine since his release from the hospital.
So quick question about that. As I think about it, this guy's Houdini, and he's going to a hospital, and I'm only assuming that you and the marshals and everybody else were thinking this isn't our regular inmate hospital visit with one set of cuffs on the gurney. How did you hold him while he was in that brief hospital visit? How was he being guarded there?
We don't treat him any different. The size of our county, we deal with murderers routinely. We have 10 murders in our jail presently, 6 people in on attempted murder, a lot of serious violent felonies. So we treat them like anyone else, a lot of caution. We have enough deputies to handle if the situation called for it, and we're trained to deal with something like that.
So did he indicate at all that he was upset about Vicky having shot herself right beside him? Did he show any sadness, remorse? Did he inquire after her?
I did not hear any stories that he was upset or alarmed at what she had done. I believe I was under the impression that he was under the impression that she would take her own life if they were going to be apprehended. So
no sadness, no wistful remorse, no questions if she survived? He didn't care?
I never got any feeling from him that he had any remorse or sadness at her passing.
I want to play a quick piece of tape from Vicky's 911 call, because as this chase was underway, she dialed 911 and spoke to a dispatcher saying that she had a gun to her head and threatening suicide. Let's take a quick listen. I want to ask you about it on the other side. Here it is.
Amazon Island. 911. Hello?
John. Airbags are going on. Let's get out and run. Let's go to the motel.
Hello?
Sheriff, it's so alarming to hear her voice, for the first time in all of this. I was wondering if your deputies could tell you, was she conscious when they were able to finally get her out of the vehicle? Did she utter anything? Did she say anything at all?
And I was on scene, and she was not conscious and never said a word while she was being treated. She was gravely ill on the scene.
What about the arresting officers, those who got her out of the vehicle? I mean, this is a very strange dynamic. This is one of their own who had made a horrible decision and committed a terrible crime and caused a lot of angst and danger for her fellow officers. And there they were, pulling her out in the condition she was in and watching him being marched over to the cruiser. What was that like for them? Have they expressed to you what kind of feelings they had about what went down yesterday?
Once she made a conscious decision to join the criminal element, particularly getting involved with the murderer, helping that person escape, being on the run with him, we don't consider that person part of our law enforcement family or our community. She's an everyday criminal, in our opinion.
Can you tell me what was recovered in the hotel? Our Brian Enton said, you know, a peek through the closed curtains, it looks like it's been completely processed. What did they leave behind? My understanding from the marshals is they left quite a bit of evidence behind in that hotel room.
No, there wasn't that much evidence left in the hotel room. They had most everything packed up in their automobile.
What did they leave behind?
A few clothing, garments, and nothing of any evidentiary value. Everything.
Nothing of any evidentiary value?
No, most everything that we had that we entered into evidence was from the vehicle. All the weapons, all the camping gear, everything that looked like they would need to be on the run.
Did you say camping gear? There was camping gear that was uncovered as well from the car?
In the car, yes.
What kind of camping gear?
Well, just looked like sleeping bags and a couple of miscellaneous things you'd have if you were planning on camping.
Did they have a tent?
I don't know. I didn't itemize. I just saw a photograph of things that were kind of wrapped up, and you could tell it was camping gear.
Did it appear they were leaving room 150 for good, or did they were they shocked by the fact that they were then in pursuit? Had they intended to go back to room 150, or did they assume that there were eyes on them?
We believe they were leaving room 150 for good and traveling elsewhere.
Even though they'd paid for 14 days, they were going to leave after 6. Do you think that they knew that they'd been made, that they knew police had eyes on them?
And that could be a good hypothesis from them. And once again, criminals don't have mindsets like everybody else. They're not at Disney World for a week's vacation. They're on the run. They paid because they probably got a good deal at an inexpensive hotel. Obviously, they were throwing money around. She started out with a large sum of money and had $29,000. They either spent or misplaced a large part of the money she had in a very short period of time. So I don't think they were concerned with leaving a hotel with a few days paid rent.
Interesting, though, that they left clothes behind. But that to the money now, because this one's been beguiling me all day, bedeviling me, I should say. She had at least $90,000 from the sale of her house. Why would she leave money behind? It's assumed that she took that money in cash on the road, and they spent $6,000 on a car, maybe a few thousand on another car, and maybe a few thousand on the Cadillac. They spent the money on the hotel, which is not much, and $30,000, as we see on the screen right now, is recovered. But that, to me, says there's around $60,000, maybe $50,000 out there somewhere. Do you guys assume that they had stashed money elsewhere and that there's still money to be recovered in this story?
There may be some money that's recovered, but it's hers. I'm not concerned with the money at this point. If the Alabama authorities are, or anybody else, they're welcome to search for it, but it's no concern of mine at this point.
Sheriff Dave Whiting, I cannot thank you enough for your time and also the great work that you and your men and women and also the marshals and the FBI did, in concert with each other to bring this to an end like this. It's very sad that Vicky has lost her life and probably took those secrets to the grave, but do appreciate your time tonight. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for having me on. Appreciate it.
Thank you for watching. Click the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.